another video. My name is Sander and today we are at Arrowhead Provincial Park, as you can probably tell by the view behind me. So Arrowhead is a park located about 2.5 hours from Toronto. We love it here. These sites are very private. They're very spacious. We are here in early June. The power is back on for most campsites. There are some in East River that remain without power, but the majority of the park is now back. We love Arrowhead just because there's a lot to do. You have the Big Bend Lookout where we are right now. You have Stubb Falls. It's a perfect spot for some biking, some kayaking. So stick around and we will take you along on the journey. So this is the check-in at Arrowhead. There's not much room for if you have like trailers or RVs. So typically what we end up doing if it's busy here is to just go to the site and then check in later, because there is no room really for a lineup. And when you get here after 2, typically down there, it's all lined up. Arrowhead, there are 2 dump spots, and on the other side there's 2 trailer fill stations as well. So let's get this done. So from a fill perspective, there's 2, 1 bay there. 1 bay there. It is a non-threaded hose, so keep that in mind. So this is one of the nicer parks, since you have a separate dumping station and water fill. You can drive around, so you don't have to wait for other people, which is good because it's a big park. This is site 404 in the Roe section. We do like it here better than East River. I find the sites are a bit more private. Plus, if it's important to you, your cell phone works here as well, or at least with Kudo and Telus. You have excellent service, where at East Beach you don't. Arrowhead Provincial Park has 4 campgrounds. The first campground is Lumby North. They're all non-electric here. Just south of Lumby North is Lumby South. There are also non-electric sites here and radio free. Further south of that we hit the East River campgrounds, mostly electric. There are some cabins as well. There's also some drive-through sites for larger trailers. And there is a radio-free section from site 200 to 260. The last campground in Arrowhead Provincial Park is Roe Campground. This is our personal favorite. I find the sites here a little bit more spacious. They are all electric and they also have access to their own beach area. Further at Arrowhead, there's 4 beaches in total. We have Lumby Beach. We have beach number 1, we have beach number 2, which is the main beach, and we have Roe Beach, which you can get to from the Roe Campground. Further to that, there are Stubb Falls to explore, there's the lookout, and the other nice thing about Arrowhead Provincial Park, all the sites are color-coded. What this really indicates is the size of the campsite. It's actually helpful for future bookings, so you know whether it's a small, medium, large, or extra large, or pull-through campsite, so very helpful. Now, most of the sites at Roe are pretty large and they're certainly very private. For example, this is site 400. So in each row there's multiple of these little washrooms. They're just very basic. And in the middle of the Roe campground, literally in the middle that connects to every single row, is the comfort station. Sites in the loop have a little less privacy overall, but they're still private. This is the comfort station. There's signs everywhere. Typically the signs only exist on trails that exist on the map. If they don't exist on the map, typically there's no signage, and since there's literally trails everywhere, be prepared to get lost a little bit, but you know what, that's part of the adventure. For example, this is the trail that runs from Roe to the Big Bend Lookout. Now you also have this trail here that connects you to the beach and the Arrowhead Lake trail. So there's literally trails everywhere. But again, it's very easy to get lost as a result as well. But the Big Bend Lookout is just a very short trail. directly from the main road. The parking lot is here. And the trail is right there. So, very, very short trail. Now, years ago, you used to be able to go, of course, on the platform right here. However, there's a little road right here that they block now that you actually had a better view. They closed that since, so you can no longer do that. So the Stubb Falls trail is a very nice short trail, easy accessible. There are some stairs, so if you have a stroller or wheelchair, you probably not the trail for you. Now there's two starting points. One is in East River, which is the shortest, or you can start at the bridge by the beach. It's a little bit longer, but it is a nice little walk. So there's Stubb Falls. We just made it to the bottom. There's some kayakers going against the current there. But yeah, that's Stubb Falls right there. This is the parking lot to Main Beach. This is also where the Arrowhead Lake trail starts. So we're on the trail. You can see the lake from everywhere. It's a nice little bike ride. There are some steep hills, so if you're not that used to biking, you may have to walk a bit, but otherwise it's a nice trail. So we made it to the north part of the lake. This is where a little creek is and a bridge as well, which right there connects to Arrowhead Lake. So at the beginning or the end of the trail, depending on which way you go, here's Lumby Campground, north and south. They're all non-electric, but you do get some decent sites here that overlook the lake. It's surprising we're all here on the weekend and there's nobody here. I guess sites with electricity are definitely in higher demand. In this campground you can't have audio devices, so it's a radio-free campground here. Now at Arrowhead there's signs everywhere, which makes it very easy to navigate, because there's a ton and tons of trails here. So this is Lumby Beach right here. It's a small little beach. Over there is Roe Beach, beach number 2, or the main beach, the dog beach area, and then just around the corner is where the bridge is and beach number 1. Between beach 1 and 2 there is a picnic shelter. We're back on the parking lot of beach number 2. So the lake trail itself does have some more difficult spots. It's muddy, lots of tree roots, but other than that, definitely recommend it. So this is the visitor center at Arrowhead. I wouldn't really call it a visitor center if you're expecting like an Algonquin or Kilbear like visitor center. This is not it. There's a little store. You can get rentals here. You can get firewood and ice, but not really a visitor center. So we're about to take our kayak out. This is typically where we launch them. This is the main beach. It's a little bit of a walk downhill, but it's not too bad with the kayak. And this way you're right on Arrowhead Lake. From there you can go on the river as well. So we're on Arrowhead Lake here. It's a nice big calm lake. Very nice for kayaking or canoeing. The other thing is from here you can go into the East River. So you can go to the Big Bend Lookout if you really wanted to. It's quite a bit of a trip. If you're interested in doing that paddle, I would almost suggest to go outside of the park to Williamsport Road. There's a bridge there. You can launch your canoe or kayak there, and from there on you can paddle to the Big Bend Lookout. So we made it to the river. There are some rapids here that are actually quite fun to go down. So it's just a nice paddle here on the river. So we made it to Stubb Falls. Stubb Falls is right behind us. Obviously I'm not gonna go down it in a kayak because I'm not crazy. So yeah, I think that's, you can portage here to the bottom of the falls and continue your trip there. But I think we're just gonna take our time and make our way back up. So this is the Mayflower Trail. It's about a 2-kilometer trail around the Mayflower Lake. Now on this trail there's lots of boardwalk, so it's easily accessible. However, there are some tree roots everywhere, so if you want to take a stroller, this is probably not the trail for you. What we love about the park is there's so much to do, so much to explore. It's close to town, it's relatively close to Algonquin, so even with your Arrowhead Day Pass you can go to Algonquin, assuming they have spots available, which you should always check with the park before going. If it's typically, if you're here during the week, that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, it's just a beautiful environment to be in, lots to do, and as a result, one of our favorites. These sites are also pretty spacious and private, which is something we love. We don't like to be, you know, on top of our neighbors, so to say. The only drawback, specifically if you're in East River, is the length. If you have an electric site, the length between the post and your trailer is significant. Always check the Ontario Parks website for the length. It is in meters. Typically cords are sold in feet, so you may have to do the conversion, but it's not out of the ordinary that you need 100+ foot cord to connect to your trailer. Now make sure you get the right cord. I often see people with like a regular household 15 amp cord, which will work, but the moment you're going to turn on your AC and whatnot, you're going to burn out your electronics, you're going to burn out the cord. Yes, the cords aren't cheap, but you can typically buy them for a half decent price at Princess Auto, Amazon, or Walmart. So we always carry over, you know, well 100 feet and whatever comes with the trailer. So make sure you get the right stuff. Make sure you check before you go camping, because it could save you a headache than not being able to hook your trailer up. So keep that in mind.